Have you ever felt completely exhausted, not from physical labor, but from the constant effort of explaining your soul to people who refuse to understand you? Meet Elian, a gentle deer in this ancient forest, who carries a heavy burden on his tired shoulders, the impossible weight of trying to please everyone around him. He remembers the countless times he stood before the chattering sparrows, trying to justify his choices and prove his worth to those who only sought gossip. He recalls the terrifying moments facing the mountain bear, shouting his reasons into the wind, hoping for a nod of approval that would never actually come. The noise of the world had become a deafening roar in his head, leaving him feeling small, misunderstood, and drained of all his natural, vibrant energy. Now, Elian stops by an ancient, gnarled tree, his body trembling with fatigue as the last light of the sun vanishes behind the dark, jagged horizon. His breath forms thick white clouds in the freezing night air, a visible sign of the life force he has wasted on those who do not care. He sinks to the ground, feeling the cold moss beneath him, wondering why the world feels like a courtroom where he is always the primary defendant. Suddenly, a shadow moves. The old wolf emerges from the darkness, his eyes glowing with a cold, judgmental light that pierces through Elian's fragile peace. The wolf represents the toxic voices in our lives, those who use their own narrow prejudices to define who we are and what we are worth. "You are too weak, Elian," the wolf sneers, "too slow for this forest." The harsh words hang in the air like poison, seeking a reaction. Instead of staying silent, Elian feels the familiar urge to defend himself, his heart racing as he prepares to argue against the wolf's cruel labels. He points frantically at the scars on his legs, desperate to prove how hard he has struggled and how much he has overcome to survive here. "Look at my wounds," he cries out. But his voice sounds thin and desperate against the vast, uncaring silence of the deep and dark woods. We often make the mistake of handing others the key to our self-worth, thinking that if we just explain enough, they will finally see our value. But the wolf does not listen. He turns his back and disappears into the brush before Elian can even finish his sentence, leaving him completely alone. The silence that follows is heavy and suffocating. Elian stands frozen, realizing that his words were nothing more than stones thrown into a bottomless pit. His heart beats like a trapped bird against his ribs. The pressure to be understood is a cage he built for himself with his own frantic tongue. He looks down at his hooves, feeling the shame of needing validation from a predator who was never interested in knowing the truth of his heart. Seeking a way out of the darkness, Elian wanders deeper into the forest's core, where the air grows still and the trees whisper ancient, forgotten secrets. He approaches a massive oak tree, its branches reaching toward the stars like frozen lightning, home to the wisest creature in all the woodland realm. The old owl opens his eyes, two golden moons that see through the illusions of the world, and watches the young deer with calm, patient observation. He sees Elian's exhaustion, the way his spirit has been frayed by the sharp edges of public opinion and the constant need to explain his existence. The owl does not offer words of comfort or long explanations. He simply sits in a profound, powerful silence that speaks louder than any human language. With a slow, deliberate movement, the owl stretches out a wing, pointing toward the high, hidden valley where the air is pure and light begins. In the distance, a mysterious blue glow illuminates the mist, beckoning Elian toward a place where the noise of the world cannot hope to follow. Elian is confused, waiting for a lecture or advice, but the owl remains a statue of wisdom, teaching him the first lesson of the silent path. Taking a deep breath, Elian turns away from his old life, walking toward the light, leaving the need for defense and justification far behind him. Each step on the dry leaves feels like a shedding of old skin. The forest grows quieter, as if the trees are holding their breath for him. The air turns crisp and sharp with the scent of ice. He is entering the sanctuary of stillness, a place where only the truth can survive. He reaches the center of the valley and stops. Before him lies a lake, its surface frozen into a perfect, shimmering mirror under the pale starlight. The water does not move. It does not argue with the wind or apologize for its coldness. It simply exists in a state of absolute, unwavering peace. Elian steps cautiously onto the ice, feeling the solid strength beneath him. There is no noise here, only the magnificent, healing power of the void. He looks down and sees his reflection clearly for the first time. Not the deer the wolf saw, but the creature he truly is in his soul. He sees the grace in his neck, the strength in his gaze, and the quiet dignity of a being who no longer needs an audience to exist. The lake does not need to explain why it is frozen. It simply reflects the vastness of the sky above, indifferent to the opinions of the shore. Elian closes his eyes and lets the silence wash over him, realizing that his value was never something to be debated, only something to be felt. Tiny snowflakes begin to drift from the heavens, landing softly on the ice. They are like the opinions of others, small, cold, and ultimately fleeting things. A single snowflake touches the surface and rests there, beautiful but powerless to change the solid foundation of the lake's true and frozen nature. The ice remains still and strong. It does not react, it does not shift, and it does not try to change itself to please the falling snow. This is the power of a boundary. Elian stands tall, realizing that he can be like this lake, a mirror that reflects the world without being broken. When morning comes, Elian walks back toward the forest. His gait is different now. There is a rhythmic, steady confidence in every single step he takes. As he passes the dark thicket, the wolf emerges once more, ready to launch a new volley of insults and shadows to dim Elian's newfound light. But this time, Elian does not speak. He simply looks the wolf in the eye with a gentle, knowing smile that carries the weight of the universe. He walks past the predator without a single word of defense. He has realized that the most powerful response to cruelty is often no response at all. The other animals whisper and judge as he passes, their voices like dry leaves in the wind, but Elian no longer hears the static of their doubt. He finds a patch of sweet grass and grazes in peace. His mind is clear as the frozen lake, untroubled by the shadows that dance around him. He climbs to the highest peak in the forest, just as the sun begins to break over the horizon, painting the world in shades of gold and fire. The light catches his antlers, making them glow like a crown. He is a king of his own inner world, ruled by silence and self-assurance. He stands as a silhouette of strength, a testament to the fact that when you stop explaining yourself, you finally have the energy to truly live. Look at the mountains. They do not ask for permission to stand tall. They do not explain their height or their rugged peaks to the valley below. Your life is your own. You are not a defendant in a courtroom, and you do not owe the world an explanation for your beautiful, unique existence. Be like the frozen lake. Stay silent, stay strong, and let your light be the only answer they ever receive. True power needs no words.